Today is December 4th, right, of 2023. And I was really sitting down looking at my schedule last night. So not last night, this weekend. And I was going over my December with Greg, my husband, and the things that are on our plates. I was actually spending some time. I had looked at my vision board that I had done in January because this is the time of year where I start making another vision board. So really just kind of wrapping up, seeing what I have left, seeing what's still on my plate, and just seeing where I'm getting ready to go. So anyway, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about today. And before I get into the love and learn, one of the things I want to tell you is that I was looking at my calendar. I ended up having to retool some things, okay? And first of all, let me go back and let me just say hi to Hitomi, to Jesse, to Debbie, everybody that's logging on this morning, you guys. I'm so happy to see you. Deborah Quartermain, so happy to see you guys today. So thank you for being here and for joining me. I really appreciate all of you, okay? Okay. So one of the things I was doing is I was re-looking at my calendar and my schedule. I was looking at my vision board. I was just really kind of in a moment where I needed to take about an hour and just really look at where I'm at. The reason why it's important too is that it's also on topic for today's topic is what that's about. And one of the things that I realized is that, you know how you put a lot on your plate in January and then you kind of work toward your goals and your desires throughout the year, and then life hits and things crop up and other things come up for you that you didn't expect or whatever. So there are some things that I had to move off of my plate because there's just no way I'm going to be able to get to them in the next, 4 weeks of the month, with Christmas and the holidays and my birthday coming up and everything like that. So I actually removed quite a few things, and in order to get the completion energy that I need and move them to the next year. So that's what I did. The good news about doing that, you guys, is that I was able to open up my schedule a little bit more to be able to do and really be able to be present for you guys for the Wheel of Life readings this year. So, I think this will be the 9th year that I'm doing the Wheel of Life readings. That is the readings that I do between, the end of the year, after Thanksgiving to the second week in January, where you guys can sign up for them. I pull 12 cards from the Angel Tarot deck, one for each month. And then my spirit guides and my angels and my team gives you a heads up for what is coming for the next year. So that's what the Wheel of Life readings are. And by me retooling my schedule, I was able to open up a little bit more time for you guys to be able to get in there and get your readings done. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say to you first about that. If you want to sign up for the Wheel of Life readings, just go to soulstarmagic.com. Click on the appointments and just grab whatever appointment is in there, because even though I opened up my schedule, it's still a little full. Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell you. Great. Now, the other thing I want to talk about for today's topic, well, first, before I do that, I'm going to take a big deep breath and ground myself. And if you guys want to join me, I would love to have you join me. Remember, the way that we breathe is we breathe in a nice big deep breath through our nose, and then we breathe out through our mouth, okay? It's called a Ha breath, and it's part of Huna, and it's also part of other yogic traditions and other things. So I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm just going to ground and center myself, and I would love for you guys to ground and center yourselves as well. And I'm going to send some nice grounding energy to our group, okay? So here we go. Nice. Okay. Okay, that's going to allow me to get started. So, you guys, my name is Jen Cushman. I am an empathic intuitive, and I am an energy healer worker. I'm also a master practitioner of NLP, mental emotional release, and hypnotherapy. Okay. And you're going to see more offerings on my hypnotherapy come 2024. So I'm excited about that. That's part of my new year and my new vision boarding. Okay. Now, today, what we're talking about is I want to go back, since we are in the first full week of December, I want to go back and I want to wrap up. I want to do completion energy for us with our Magic Mondays. And the reason why is because as I looked at the schedule, I'm going to have to take the next 3 Mondays off. And here's why. Next Monday, I'm actually going to be down in Phoenix because I am assisting again at the practitioner neurolinguistic programming, NLP. I'm going to be doing an assist. I did that in August and I loved it. I had so much fun being there assisting and watching people learn these mindset and these ninja mind tricks of neurolinguistic programming, which by the way, has been around for 40 years. I just found out about it. And integrative psychology, positive psychology, all of that fits in with NLP and the way it's thinking. So I'm not going to be around next Monday for that. And then the Monday after that, it's my birthday. And so Greg has taken me out for my birthday and we are going to be doing, well, that Monday's not my birthday. Okay, so my birthday's the 15th and we're going to get together and we're going to celebrate our birthday together on that Sunday and Monday. So I'm not going to be available for Magic Mondays. And then the one after that is Christmas. And I know with family and you guys and everything you're doing, you do not want to do Magic Mondays on Christmas. I probably would be talking to myself and talking to a screen. So there's that. And then the cool part though is on New Year's Day, it hits Magic Mondays. And I'm so excited because I love the very first Magic Mondays of the year because that's when I do some predictive work, right? That's where I channel and I just channel with my teams and my guides and I just talk about what the year ahead is, things that I see for a heads up, what the energy is. I'm going to be talking about a universal 8-year and what that means for you, what it means for us cosmically, what it means for us planetarily, and as a collective, and most importantly, really what it means for us individually. So please join me on New Year's Day if you can for a very, very, very special Magic Mondays. Okay, so this is why I'm talking about completion energy, because I'm not going to see you guys for 3 weeks, okay? And I want to go ahead and talk about December and 2023. So if you remember, if you can think all the way back, everybody who's here with me has come on. You're my community. You've been with me since January and that very first one. I don't know if you guys can remember, but if you remember, we were snowed in and Greg actually was holding my phone for me because our internet was out and I was totally bundled up because it was freezing and we had had snow. And I was trying to do as fast of a Magic Mondays as I could with the New Year energy. And it was really funny. You guys, I am going to do readings today. I know those of you that want it. My nose is getting itchy. That's always people who want me to get to the reading part. So anyway, and the theme that my team showed me for 2023 was one of my favorite quotes, right? It's the Hermes Trismegistus quote. And it is, as above, so below, as within, so without. So as above, right? What we think about, we create everything twice. Remember what I've always said, creation happens in twos. That's how creation happens. Ones are the individual, twos is community. It's how we come together. So everything in creation is created twice. It is created first in the mental plane in our thoughts, which is really kind of a higher realm, right? And with our higher self in co-creation with the universe, our team, the higher realm, what we want to do, our dreams, our desires, and thinking about them, right? That's how we create initially. That's the initial creative spark. And then we have to take action on it, right? We have to bring it down from the ethers, from the mental plane, from the higher plane, from the spirit plane, and we need to bring it down into the physical, the 3-dimensional real life physical that we live on, this plane. So that is as above, so below. And then as within means that we are creating our life. We are creating our thoughts. We are creating our experiences. We are creating the actions through our habits and the things we do, our programming, everything else. So it is really about what we want in our lives is as within. And then so as without, so without means that we take all of our being, right? Our personality, our programming, our traits, our magic, you know, who we are, what we want to be, what we want to give the world, and what we are projecting out onto the world. We put that out. and then we manifest. So that's how we get our jobs. It's how we get our dreams. It's how we get our cars, our vacations, the things we want. You know, it's when we actually take action on it. And then that's when we see the manifestations of our having this. So first we need to know who we are, who we really, really, really are. And then, you know, and then we have to know, what do we want to do? That's the bringing it down, and then pushing it out. And manifesting is the having. So be, do, have. So the 7-year was 2023 is a universal 7-year, because if you take 2023, you add that together, you get a 7-year. The 7 universal year is all about the individual. It really is a year that we were to really focus on ourselves. What do we want? What do we really, really want, right? And it was really a year where a lot of shadow work had to come out, because shadow work means that when we bring up the things that are no longer serving us in our life, we need to be willing to really, truly, honestly look at it so we can release it. Because we need to release the things that aren't serving us anymore. That means the programming that is from our past that we don't necessarily want to live. That means the limiting beliefs that somebody else told us when we were little, you're X, you know, it could be that stinking thinking, that those negative thought patterns that you might have heard in your childhood, and you're still unconsciously living. And you know, as an adult, that it's not true and it's not serving you. So that is when the unconscious mind is bringing this shadow work up, these things, it's bringing it up to be resolved and be healed. And that's what this year was about. So if anybody had some major difficulties in this year, like some real challenges of really just bumping up against your stuff, just know that cosmically, as part of a 7-year, that was part of it. And that each year feeds itself into the new year. And so next year is an 8-year, right? And 8s are all about abundance. And we're going to talk about that on January 1st. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to stay in the 7-year. So the 7-year of as within, so without, as above, so below. So hopefully what you guys did this year is you really went ahead and did the self-reflective work. You did the looking at the things in your life that are really working for you, the things in your life that are not working for you. Release the things that are not working with you. Release negative emotions, release old limiting beliefs, release those things that somebody might have told you when you were a child that you are still hanging on to, that is just no longer true in your life, right? And why do we release it? We release it so we can get clear, and then we can move forward in a brand new way. We can really, instead of just dreaming the big dreams, instead of just having the desires, we get clear enough that we can actually take action steps to bring those dreams and desires into our physical reality so we can truly manifest. That's when you can say the affirmations, right? We can say these positive affirmations. We can use positive psychology, but it doesn't work if we still have the gunk in there. Like, you know, it's like, we just had to this last week, I had to clean out my refrigerator. It was just like, oh, have you ever had that, you guys, where you open up your refrigerator and something is smelling and you're looking around and you're looking to see what old food is there, or you're looking to see what's going on because it is hitting you. Like, it is a physical sensation that you open up that refrigerator and it's just hitting you full force, right? So you got to clean it out. We got to get rid of that gunk. We got to throw away that old food. We got to get the bleach in there, right? We got to get things going to get our refrigerator back so we can be healthy, so we can store our food in there. We can do healthy things. So this release work is no different than that, right? Things are coming up, old emotions, old feelings, old stuff's coming up. And guess what? It's starting to stink. Woo! It's like, oh, it is stinky. I don't want to smell it anymore, right? And you can bury it. We can put it away. We can, disassociate from it. We can get on social media, all those things I talked about, but we can't truly clear it unless we pull it out, look at it, smell it, figure out if it really is good anymore, if it doesn't work anymore. And if it doesn't work anymore, throw it away. And then once you throw it away and you do the release work, then that's when you can get out the bleach, you can clean it out. And I'm telling you, there is nothing as good as having a clean refrigerator. Like, I open my refrigerator now and I go in there and I get so happy because it's so shiny and it just looks so good, right? So that is, that is an actual action step. That is a metaphor of what is going on. And that's what 2023 was. That was our year. That was the purpose of a 7-year, was to really go within so you can really dig up your stuff. You can really throw away the stinky things. You can acknowledge it and admit it. You know what I mean? So truthfully, you guys, when you open up, like, let's say you have leftovers and you've put the leftovers in the fridge, right? And they've gotten pushed to the back of them. And then that's what's starting to smell. So you open up the refrigerator, you open up the thing of you open it up in the stuff, right? You look at your leftovers and you're just like, oh, that's awful. You have no qualms about throwing away the old food. You know that it's just old food and it needs to be thrown away. Well, one of the things that happens is when it's our stuff, right? When it's our negative emotions, when it's our old conditioning, it's like we open that up and we look at it and it stinks and it smells. And then we go into our old conditioning, our old programming again. So we either get, that's when the negative emotions come up. So that's when we either start to get angry at it, or we finger point somebody else and we blame somebody else, right? Or we get sad. Or for me, with my cultural conditioning, my programming with my mom was shame and guilt, right? She used shame and guilt on me. So I'll open up that thing and I'll look at it and it stinks. And I'll be like, oh, that's my fault. What did I do? I shouldn't have done that. That's really bad. I shouldn't have let that sit. What was I thinking pushing that to the back? I was moving too fast, not doing, like, I go on a negative spiral, getting down on myself. And guess what? It's just old yuck. It's just old food. It just needs to be thrown away. Okay. So I just want to tell you that when you do the shadow work, or when you do it, it's no different than cleaning out your refrigerator. And then when it's all clean and shiny and you're able to make your way through, it just feels so good. This work feels so good. So if you have done your work, as Jesse's saying right now, right? If you have done your work this year, by December 4th? By December 4th, you should be feeling good. You should be getting into completion energy right now. And you should be feeling, like Jesse said, you should be feeling like a badass self. You should know your abilities. You should know that those dreams and those desires that you put out there for you, you deserve. And that you earned it, and that because you want it, it is for you. And that is just this feeling of confidence and strength, and knowing that whatever it is, you can do it. You can build new habits, you can take new actions, and you can get results. So on December 4th, you should be able to look back in your year, and you should be able to go in with a journal and write down actions, like dreams. I'm going to suggest you make 3 columns. One column is, what were my dreams at the beginning of this year? Okay. What action steps did I take? And what results did I get? Okay. And really take the next couple of weeks to really line those up and see where you're at. That's what I did this weekend. And the things where I had the dreams and I took the actions, but I haven't received the results yet, I needed to actually look at it and be like, okay, well, is this true? This is what I wanted in January. Is it still true in December? And if it is, I need to move it over to 2024. I need to prioritize it. I need to put it into 2024 calendar. So then I still have the dreams, the actions, and the results. Okay. Now here's the difference between my community, you guys, and a lot of people out there. You guys know that to live this spiritual, to be a spiritual being, having a human experience, you must take results. I can't begin to tell you how many times in the craft industry I'd be walking around the big conventions, the Craft and Hobby Association, where everybody who was in the craft industry, the art industry would come out and do the stuff. And there were designers and people be walking through, and they go to a booth and they were like, they stole my idea. They had my idea. That was my idea. They stole my idea. And I would look at the designers and I'd look at the people and I'd be like, if they stole your idea, how come your name isn't on that product? Well, that was my idea. They took it. And I'm like, yeah, but the ideas, you guys, there's a lot of ideas out there. Things that want to be manifest are going around in a circle, and they're waiting. Just because I had this idea doesn't mean that Hitomi's not having the idea, and Deborah's not having the idea, and Jesse's not having the idea. If this thing, right, this idea of ours is really, really, really needed in the universe is going to put that idea out to as many creative people as possible, because it needs to be manifested. And the people who manifest it are the people who take action and get results. Okay. So when I would walk around the Craft and Hobby Association and that designer had a line with their name on it, that's because they dreamt it. They found a manufacturer, they got the product made, they taught the product, and they got results. That's who deserved the product, right? That's who gets to claim that it was their idea, because they followed through and made it happen. So having the idea and being a dreamer is beautiful. Debbie Stanton's on here and she tells me all the time that she's a dreamer, right? So having the idea and being a dreamer is beautiful. It's beautiful to be a dreamer. It's beautiful to be a visionary. And it's only the first act of creation, right? You have to follow through with the second act of creation. And that is getting rid of the gunk, right? Throwing away the old food, cleaning things up, releasing the negative emotions and the limiting beliefs, right? And then getting everything nice and clear and shiny. So it's so much fun to take action. I have people, I was having coffee with a friend of mine last week, and I've been so busy, I haven't really had time for coffee. And my friend said to me, and she was like, Jen, it's a little intimidating to me. This is her exact words. She said, Jen, it's a little intimidating to me how much you're always able to accomplish. It makes me feel bad about myself because I sit around too much, right? And I just started laughing at her, and we're such good friends, not laughing at her, but laughing with her. And I said to her, and I said, girl, if me getting stuff done is making you feel bad, that's your stuff. That's your baggage, right? Because I am not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just living my life. I'm just doing my things. I'm just trying to make my dreams happen. So if you're feeling bad looking at me, then you better make an appointment with me next year in order to get that stuff cleared up. So then you don't feel bad, because maybe what you are doing is exactly what you are meant to do. Maybe your body, which is her case, maybe your body is resting and healing, and it needs to have less stuff to do because it needs to take care of itself and it needs to regenerate and heal. And if you are thinking, if your body's doing that and you're regenerating and healing, but you're looking at me and you're thinking you're doing, I want to be doing as much as you are, that's mental. Do you understand? That's going on in the mental. That is mental release that needs to happen so your heart can feel better just knowing that you're in a period of resting. So does that make sense, you guys? I'm really hoping, if you have any questions, you can do it. I don't want to be rambling here, and I don't want to put too fine of a point on things, but I really want to explain what this really, really means in a very physical, three-dimensional level, right? So, how do you get results? How do you go from survival mode to thrive mode? How do you go from just kind of, making the donuts? Remember the old commercial, like, gotta make the donuts? How do you go in your life from just making the donuts to where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get up. I got this idea for a rainbow sprinkle donut, and I can't wait to change the dough, and I can't wait to add this special sauce and the special ingredients so I can make the most beautiful donut I've ever made. So then you're excited to get up and make donuts, right? How do you thrive? And that's what I want to leave you with today, since I'm not going to see you for 3 weeks. What can you do in these last 3 weeks of 2023 in a 7-year, which is really all about you knowing yourself so you know who you are? What can you do in the last 3 weeks to get completion energy of 2023 and set yourself up for a very beautiful, joyful, and realistic 2024? Okay. That, my friends, is what my Magic Mondays talk was about today. Okay.